Hello everybody, I am Cam S, and today we are going to be reviewing the Hoyt Carbon RX5 Ultra. I would like to start off this video by saying I am not sponsored by Hoyt or any other bow brand for that matter. I actually shot two different brands when I went to shoot my bow, and I have a more in-depth video of why I chose this bow from last week, so you can check that out at the top of the screen right now or in the link in the description below. In that video I explained to you guys that I actually tried the Matthews V331, the Hoyt Carbon RX5, the Hoyt Carbon RX5 Ultra, and the Hoyt Ventum 33. So with that said, I did go with the Carbon RX5 Ultra by Hoyt because it had the smoothest draw cycle for me, and I was the most comfortable with that bow. So if you're going to go out and buy yourself a bow, I suggest trying out many different models, different brands, and just seeing what you're most comfortable with, because that is what matters most. So my bow came with the Redworks case from the dealership. It has a nice pocket on the side for your quiver and arrows. It has three other pockets on the side, which are pretty big. I have my rangefinder and release in this pocket, and just some lighted nocks in here, and the instruction manual, which this obviously comes with the bow as well. It has a mounting kit for the inline sight mount, and it obviously comes with the bow itself, which has nothing else on it when you get the bow. It does not have your arrow rest or your quiver or your sight. And last but not least, it comes with a Redworks Hoyt archery hat. So what does this bow have to offer? It is 34 inches axle to axle. It has a 7-inch brace height. Its mass is 4.6 pounds, and it has the HBX cam system on it. There's varying draw lengths. You can get 27 to 30 inches and 30.5 to 32 inches, and there are multiple draw weights ranging from 30 all the way to 80 pounds. When looking at their HBX cam system, they actually have a adjustable let-off weight, so you can have either 80 or 85% let-off, and you can just adjust it right here with like an Allen type wrench. And I currently have it on 85, and I like it a lot. Another aspect of this bow is this included stabilizer. It is a lower center of gravity, so they say you need less weight for your stabilizer. You have these adjustable weights that you can take off, but this is also included. It is lighter than your stabilizer because it is already farther out and lower. You do have the option to put on a stabilizer of your own, and you do have the option for a back bar as well. Another thing that I mentioned earlier that comes with the bow is that center mounting rail system for your bow sight. I do not have it on, but it allows you to mount straight off the front of your bow, so you do not have the weight pulling you to the right. Yes, I'm going to talk about what I have on the bow personally. This is the QU Verde, I believe is how you pronounce it, camo on it. I have a Hamskea Trinity arrow rest that is limb driven. As you can see right here, I have the Spot Hog 5-pin sight on it, as you can see right there, and I also have the Tight Spot 5-arrow quiver as well. And I do not have anything special going on for my peep sight, kisser button, or D-loop. Now I'm going to shoot this bow so you guys can see how fast it shoots, the draw cycle, and I'm also going to shoot it with my bow from last year so you can kind of get a speed comparison and a noise comparison as well. Now I will shoot my bow from last year so you can hear the difference in noise. One thing that I just noticed while shooting this bow is that the Hoyt is actually heavier, noticeably heavier than my old Matthews, which I think it is not the bow's fault. I believe that it is all the attachments that I have on here. These are all metal attachments instead of using some carbon fiber attachments, which I think was kind of, these are good brands on here, but it might have been a bad decision to use these super heavy duty materials, because now my bow is weighed down quite a bit and it's quite noticeable when you switch in between bows. It would be nicer if it was lighter, but then again, when I was shooting this bow compared to my Matthews, that this weight almost weighs me down, so I'm not swaying all over the place. My Matthews, I felt like it was very hard because it was so light that I could not really focus on one pinpoint area to shoot. I actually think it may benefit me a little bit because it will be more forgiving and not swaying around as much. While shooting the two bows, I also noticed a sizable difference in speed and penetration. Although the bows are only 5 pounds apart, there was a big difference in speed and penetration. I had to switch over to my dad's crossbow target because I was having a very difficult time pulling the arrows out of the target with my Hoyt. But it is also important to keep in mind that my Matthews that I was using was my dad's old bow from like 20 years ago. So I'm sure that this year's Matthews would be very comparable between the Hoyt and the Matthews now, but I just wanted to put that out there. When considering the price point of this bow, I was very hesitant on getting this bow. I honestly wanted to get the cheaper option of the Ventum 33 because it is aluminum and was going to be cheaper. But after shooting this bow and pretty much falling in love with it, I decided that if I'm going to buy a bow and spend that much money on a bow, I might as well go all out and buy the bow that I like. The one that I'm most comfortable with, that's going to last me time. That I'm not going to regret buying after I buy it because I do not like it. And I think if it suits you well, then it is worth the price point. I think it is important for you to get a bow that you're comfortable with, and that is why I went with this bow, because I was the most comfortable with this bow. I'm not the type to go out and buy the next model of the bow every year that it comes out, so I think spending this type of money for a bow that's going to hopefully last me 20 to 30 years is hopefully in the long run going to help me. I wanted to get one that I'm going to grow with, I'm going to keep for a long time, so I figured if I'm going to spend that amount of money, I might as well spend it on something that I like and that I'm most comfortable with. With that said, it is expensive with no attachments on it, but I think it is worth the money if you are comfortable with it. I was comfortable with this bow, and personally the accuracy and everything that I've seen so far is worth the price. At this point in time, I honestly do suggest the bow. It is very fast shooting bow and it's very consistent and accurate. I switched over to a new release and that made all of the difference. I was a little iffy here and there with my shots and I switched over to a different release and it is very consistent now. I have shot it at ranges up to 50 yards. I'm trying to sight it in at 60 right now because like I said, I have that 5-pin sight, but I think the farthest I've ever shot a compound bow is 30 yards. So being able to shoot 50 within the first week of having it is very impressive. I'm very impressed with this bow. It has done me well so far. It's so quick. and if my body would let me, I would be out there shooting it all the time. I love shooting this bow. It's so fun to shoot just because it's so accurate and so consistent, and it actually makes it fun to go out there and practice with it and shoot around with it. If my arms would let me do it, I would be out there all day shooting it. So overall, yes, I recommend this bow, and it is honestly a pretty cool bow. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this answered any of your questions that you may have had. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section below so I can hopefully answer them for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below, turn that bell notification button on, hit that like button. I will see you next time.